In today's wrap-up, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has called citizens to ask how they're holding up in the lockdown. 39 new cases of coronavirus are confirmed with 10 more recoveries. Entry into Armenia from Nagorno Karabakh will be temporarily halted. The government has eased controversial press restrictions. And Inecobank's report predicts that Armenia will have positive growth despite the pandemic. On Friday afternoon, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan held a Facebook live stream where he called up random citizens to ask them how they were holding up during the nationwide lockdown. He asked several of the respondents how they were coping with the lockdown situation and what the government could do to make their lives easier. Minister of Health Vardan Petrosyan has stated that 39 more cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Armenia. Moreover, 10 more recoveries have been recorded. Spokeswoman of the Ministry of Defense Shushan Stepanyan also announced that 2 more servicemen of the Armenian military have tested positive. This comes after the first 3 cases in the armed forces were reported yesterday. After this development, 35 more servicemen were tested who had some connection to the original 3 cases, of which 2 have tested positive. Stepanyan later visited the positively tested servicemen who have now been isolated and are receiving medical attention. The police of Armenia have announced that entry into Nagorno Karabakh will be temporarily halted. The statement stipulated that checkpoints will be set up on the way to Karabakh and that non-residents of Karabakh will not be allowed entry into the territory. The police did add, however, that exceptions will be granted to those bringing in cargo goods, Karabakh residents, and those coming to monitor the 31st March elections. The police did add, however, that exceptions will be granted to those bringing in cargo goods, Karabakh residents, and those coming to monitor the 31st of March elections. No cases have been reported in Karabakh so far, but authorities are taking preventive measures to ensure the virus doesn't penetrate the territory. The government has eased press restrictions which were put in place as part of the state of emergency regulations, which meant that press media could only publish information about the coronavirus outbreak that was drawn from official sources. The restrictions were condemned by some who saw it as a curtailing of press freedom. The new regulations had led to some media organizations facing accusations of panic-mongering and spreading false rumors. However, the government's easing of the regulations now means that media organizations may need to provide clarifications if requested by authorities. And finally, Armenia's economic growth may be positive despite the expected decline in the global economy due to the pandemic, says a new report published by Inecobank, a commercial bank in Armenia. The report analyzed a number of scenarios, and although it forecasted a sharp decline in tourism, remittances, and copper exports, it did mention that cheaper oil imports and a weaker Russian ruble could mean a recession may be avoided. As part of the new regulations to combat the spread of COVID-19, elderly people have been given exclusive shopping hours between 10 to 12 a.m. due to their high-risk status. ＳիվիլNeթi took footage of a supermarket during the specified time bracket to capture the old-timers during their lockdown shopping.